Mandalore. Greetings, programs, and welcome to Pop Culture Therapy. I'm your host, Loki, the Mandalorian. You know what? I'm kind of pissed. Not because it wasn't a great show. I think episode 1 is an awesome episode. I even think they should have called it No Puck. But I'm kind of pissed that we have gotten 2 really crappy movies. The last 2 Star Wars movies were so horrible. The Last Jedi and Solo. And then we get a great first episode of The Mandalorian. I have hope. I'm hoping right now, my hope is that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are the ones doing the next Star Wars trilogy. If they do that and they reset with those 2 guys, I really think that we could have some great Star Wars movies. If I was Bob Iger and I said, I want to see The Mandalorian before it ever goes on Disney Plus, I want to see the first episode, and I was brought this episode and I watched it, I would have jumped up and said, this is great. The only thing, and this is just a personal preference here, the only thing I think they could have done a little bit better is the music. The music's okay. There's nothing really that bad about it, but it's not Star Wars music. And they may have done that deliberately. When the Clone Wars series came out, they used different kind of music. Yes, they touched on some of the John Williams stuff, but they used a different type of music. And that's one of the things that I really liked about the Clone Wars. Especially the narration at the beginning. War! The Republic is at war with the Confederation. Yeah, that was one of the things I really liked about it. Was like the old World War II ads, the old World War II movies you'd see before you'd go in and see a movie, the propaganda videos. I liked those. Anyway, so it's good. It's good. And I think that's what a lot of people wanted. I'm sure there are some people out there that are going to be like, this isn't going to save Star Wars. Rise of the Skywalker could be complete trash and I'll still watch this series. Do I think they can screw it up? Sure. This is just the first episode. This is what we've gotten so far. Can they throw a giant monkey wrench in and destroy the goodwill they have earned, with me at least, so far in episode 1? Yes, they can. Of course they can. Bring a whole bunch of identity politics into it, shove it down your throat, and completely ruin the show. Yeah, they could do that. Do I think they're going to do that? I don't think they're going to, but I could be wrong. I could be 5 episodes in and be like, I was wrong, and I'll admit it. If I was wrong, I will completely admit it. But so far, from this first episode, I like it. I really like it, and it's got a little, hoo-ha surprise at the very end of it. I will get into that in just a little bit. Let's talk about the performances before I get into spoilers. Pedro Pascal in the suit, doing what he does. It is Pedro Pascal in the suit. Now, whether he is the Mandalorian, that's a whole nother question. Is it possible that they're going to pull the helmet off and, ooh, surprise, it's somebody else? Sure, but you can tell that it's him in the suit. If you watched, I think it was Kingsman, the second Kingsman movie, he's got a very similar fighting style. So he has done quick draws and gunslinger fighting styles before, and you can tell it's him in the suit so far. Could they change that? I'm sure they could. Do they want to do a little surprise at the end? Oh, look, it's somebody else. They could do that. Sure, they could do that. There's a really interesting part in this where you get a look at others. I'll just say that before I get into the spoilers. Others. And I think that was very interesting how they did that. I hope they don't find a way to screw this up. I hope Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni continue to do an excellent job. So I'm going to get into spoilers. So I'm going to change the picture on the screen here in just a second. Fair warning, if you are going to watch this, watch it before you listen to the spoiler section. So here I go. The episode starts out with a Trandoshan, a bounty hunter, and a Mandalorian walking into a bar. Minus the Trandoshan, and the Mandalorian is the bounty hunter. Whoever said, "Oh, Star Wars is for kids," bro dog, silly rabbit. The beginning of this episode, someone gets cut in half by a door. A door. So the naysayers and the Freddies of the world. The Star Wars is just for kids. Well, silly rabbits. No. No, it's not. This is not a for kids show. I wouldn't let my 6-year-old kid watch this show. Would I let my 12-year-old daughter? Sure. Sure, I'd let her watch this show. But she likes Star Wars. So he goes into a bar, he gets his bounty, ends up cutting a guy in half, ends up killing half the people in the bar. Awesome work, awesome cinematography, awesome action, awesome gunplay. The way that the guy gets cut in half by the door was awesome. He gets the bounty, gets it back to his ship. It's all good so far. So he turns in his bounties to Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers plays a cool guy. I guess he's one of the people using the Bounty Hunters Guild. And he has a special contract for the Mandalorian. And the Mandalorian ends up taking it. And in the beginning of this review, I said the episode should have been called No Puck. Because he asks him for a bounty puck that has, the image and the wanted. It's almost like a wanted poster. And Carl Weathers tells him no puck. So I think they should have called it No Puck. That would have been a really good actual name for the episode instead of just episode 1, The Mandalorian. If there is one, I didn't see it. I didn't catch it. I'm only watching it once. I'm going to go back and watch it again as soon as I get done with this review. So he goes on a little quest to get this guy. Ends up running into an old fart on this planet where he's going after his bounty. And he teaches him to ride this thing. It's not a dewback. I thought it was a dewback. When I watched the previews, I thought it was a dewback. It's not a dewback. It's like a dungo or something. Anyway, so when he gets to where he's going to get his bounty, one of the IG models show up, IG-11, IG-89, IG-66, whatever, and they end up kind of competing for the bounty, but then end up working together. And that's pretty much the episode. It went so quick. It was like blink and the episode was done and over with. I want more. I want more now. I want to watch another episode right now. I'm glad they are spacing these out for a week. I hate the idea of The Expanse coming out and watching it all in like 2 days. I hate that. I don't want that. I want a week episode, an episode a week. Because I would binge watch this whole show today and have a review for the whole series today. Can they screw this up? Yes, they can. Do I think they're going to screw this up? I don't think they will. Maybe that's me just hoping. Kathleen Kennedy's still a producer here. Kathleen Kennedy's still a producer. You've got Jon Favreau. You've got Dave Filoni. And you can tell Dave Filoni directed this episode. Dave Filoni directed this episode, and you can tell. It's kind of like a Western, and that's what I was hoping for. An old spaghetti Western. It's kind of like the Mandalorian with no name going after his bounties, which I really liked. So I'm going to leave you with that. I really enjoyed it. I give it an 8. Maybe an 8.5. I'm not going to give it a 9 because of the music, but I'll give it a solid 8. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please subscribe and ring that bell. And I will catch you all on the next Pop Culture Therapy.